So, it's a day of the week, a day of the week, a day of the week, and it's not a game. It's
Obi is fucked up on me.
Amazing!
Help!
Help, girl, help. Girl, non-binary, help.
Okay, hang on. Let me... Are you still recording?
I'm still recording. We can use my copy, and this can just be part of the opening, because I think that's very funny.
Alright, okay. I have the recording now.
Amazing. So yeah, it's the day of the week. We have OBS. We have audio technical issues because it's me, AudioVizual, and I apparently curse people's audio.
And we also have the baby in the background.
That's okay. There's always a baby. There's always a baby squalling at someone's apartment. And me playing Bon Arlo, they live in an apartment. And so there's probably a baby squalling next door or like downstairs or something, you know? Babies, they just exist.
They do. I guess.
And so you are ... fill in your name here.
Hi, I'm Avi. Today we'll be playing a wonderful thief.
A little thief. And so this FPS is at Bon's apartment. Bon's apartment is a real hoppin' place for FPSs. And it's probably nighttime. I'm gonna hazard a guess.
Yeah.
Bon is off work. They're in their casual wear. You know, they're chilling. They were probably making like dinner or something, late dinner. Finishing up paperwork, you know, doing that whole working adult life things. How is our wonderful thief doing? And how is he going to make his entrance?
Oh, you're gonna love this. Bon, you said you're probably like making dinner or something. There's a baby yelling somewhere. It's just ambience at this point. But cutting through the entire ambience of the whatever noises going on in the apartment, you hear just a very subtle tap 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 at your window.
And for viewers, Bon lives on like the second or third floor of an apartment building.
Don't question it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
You know, Bon, because the window is like right next to, you know, they don't have a very big apartment. Bon just kind of looks over at their window, a little confused.
I'm not gonna make you roll perception for it because I just think it's hilarious. Oh, thank you for this. This is a wonderful little math. Wish I was that smart. Bon, you look over to the window and there is a real kind face there, wearing a mask that you recognize.
I know this person. Bon having made a offer to Trickster at one point, via a series of circumstances, involving some crime, had absolutely been like, hey, you can come over if you need help anytime. And so Bon can't necessarily be allowed to be surprised because they did this to themselves. And they just kind of like look for a second and then they kind of just sigh and like wipe their hands off on a towel. And they like go over to the window and kind of look at it for a second and look at, Trickster on the other side of the window.
Hey, can you let me in?
not exactly the entrance I expected, but also I'm not too surprised. And Bon like unlocks the window and like begins to slide it up.
Trickster just kind of like slips inside and like and he comes in. He's holding one hand against his shoulder, and it goes, "Thanks. Sorry for dropping in unannounced."
I mean, you didn't necessarily drop in, so I can forgive you.
That's fair. I mean, I have made worse entrances, but yeah, nice apartment.
Can Bon roll perception to like see if they have any idea, like, you know, why he's here, considering he...
Perception or insight?
I was gonna say, I'll do insight, because that's better, ironically enough. 16.
You said this was insight?
Yeah.
Alright, here we go. Yeah, of course, Trickster is, holding one shoulder. And the way he's holding it, you recognize it as that, oh yeah, this is definitely a wounded shoulder. And judging by the way Trickster is trying to keep a mostly straight face, it hurts like hell.
Bon just kind of gives Trickster a once-over and just nods and kind of sighs a little, and they're like, okay, alright. And they, like, turn around and turn off their, like, stove so nothing burns. And they're like, alright, let me get my bag, and, you take off your coat or whatever you're comfortable with at this point, because you're not looking too hot, kid.
No, I got shot at, so I don't think good is the word we're looking for here.
You know, you got me there. Bon just kinda, they walk over and they like grab their chair and kind of drag it over to Trickster so he can sit down. And they kind of go walk into a closet that has some stuff. and they're just kind of wrestling around.
Trickster does take off his jacket, and underneath is a vest. Yeah.
Very cool vest.
A very cool vest.
Cool kid, cool vest. Looking cool, Trickster.
Looking cool, Trickster.
Looking cool. And Bon comes back out, and they don't really bat an eye at Trickster. And, you know, they kind of just walk over and, like, set down this bigger than usual bag of medical stuff and start wrestling through it. And they're like, okay, did you actually get shot? Did you get a boo-boo? Did you strain something? Like, walk me through your night, kid, and we'll get you all patched up.
My night was, exciting, I'll tell you that. Got shot at, and he actually moves his hand so you can see, and there is a, it's not as bad as it could be, but there is, like, a wound there. But the way he's, like, moving and talking about it, this is just, like, par for the course for him. So he lets you, he does let you see it. It just, you know, hurts like hell. And, shoot. I lost my train of thought.
How was your night? How was your night, Trickster?
How was his night? Considering, how his business usually happens on the plane of dreams, and, there are things on the plane of dreams, probably had a rough night, especially, on his own with just one partner. So he tells you that he did get into a bit of a scruff, a bit of a scrap,
a bit of a scuffle,
a bit of a scuffle, and but he does say that the worst of it is the gunshot.
His big ouchie boo boo.
The rest are like just, you know, scratches. Do you want to roll me a really quick perception?
Oh, absolutely.
Ooh!
23.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Interestingly enough, Bon, you do see the wound, specifically the gunshot wound. Trickster did mention, like, scratches and stuff, but, as you're, like, examining him, you also probably catch sight of his jacket. There is no sign of damage on the jacket or his vest.
You know what? Bon's gonna file that piece of information down for later. Because, you know, they don't know this kid's life. They don't know what this kid is up to. For all they know, the kid was getting dressed or something, or they changed. You know, there can be a perfectly Occam's razor. Sometimes there's a perfectly mundane explanation for this sort of thing. So Bon isn't gonna really super question it, but they will remember this.
Bon will remember that.
Bon will remember that. There's like a tiny bird flapping in the corner. Bon will remember that. They probably like pull out, you know, like the rubbing alcohol and all of the antiseptics and stuff, and kind of just start like cleaning Trickster up. Honestly, probably hands him like a little packet of wet wipes and is like, "Scrub your face, kid. You know, you look like you certainly had a bit of a night."
That laugh is in character. And he goes, and he does wipe at his face, but he does it in a way where he looks down and away from you, as he wipes under his eyes, under his mask, so you don't see his face completely.
Bon respects that.
Yeah. And he just goes, yeah, sorry, I normally I would try to take care of this myself, but I don't really have my supplier here in Inkwell. And shipment from Yeto, it takes a while.
Bon nods sagely, and they're like, "Yeah, I can understand that. Besides, might as well take advantage of my offer, right? You know."
Mind being my supplier for a bit?
You know, you lick your way, I lick my way. I don't see any issue with this. Do you on a more unrelated note, do you have any like allergies or anything I should worry about, kid?
Not any I know of.
Oh, famous last words then. And Bon kind of like scrubs a little of like the rubbing alcohol and stuff into around where it hurts.
I should probably roll something. Would that be con?
Yeah, probably just con.
Yeah.
See
Here we
how well
go.
he's handling the Bon. Careful, but like a little jokingly. See if you flinch, sort of thing. Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. He does flinch a little. Like he is expecting it because it's rubbing alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
and he does wince, and he goes, "Still hurts like a bitch, though."
Yeah, I've heard getting shots hurt a lot. The smart thing is... Yeah, I've heard the smart thing to do is, you know, not be on the other end of one of those things.
Or you could be faster than a bullet.
You know, I would love to try sometime. I know there are some monks and stuff who can catch bullets, but unfortunately I don't think I'm as agile, even if, and Bon, like, pokes Trickster's chest, even if you are.
He snorts at that. He's just... Well, I do have a habit of, I guess you could say, putting myself in line of danger, but I always get out alive.
I mean, that's the important part, I feel, honestly.
Always helps to have a contingency plan.
Mm-hmm. Bon kind of just sort of starts, like, making sure, like, there's nothing, like, up with it. I'm gonna have them roll medicine. I know it's their job, but it's also just, like, a 10, goodness.
This is an FPS, you can do whatever.
Yeah, just probably Bon just kind of like, it's a bullet wound. Bon knows how to handle those. They don't need to, as long as it's a through and through, Bon doesn't really need to go looking for anything. And because, Trickster seems pretty cavalier about the whole thing, there's a good chance that it's just standard, ouchie boo boo, Bon put the thing over it and kiss it better, and everyone's fine.
Yeah.
That's how this works.
So you're just like, what, a medical practitioner? Is that your job?
Something like that. I'm very good at handling all sorts of accidents that can and will go wrong.
Well, at least someone is.
Yeah, I work in a sort of high-stakes scene where it's important that you're good at your job, so I'm very good at my job.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
That's why I don't blink at things like this.
It is pretty helpful. I appreciate that.
Glad to be of service, helping your local neighborhood chaotic neutral thief.
Chaotic neutral? I am chaotic good at best.
At best, of course.
He's still grinning at you. I'm gonna say probably by now, you've definitely noticed that some of his older scars, quite a bit of them are from spells. Most of them are just from like standard wounds, and stuff. Unfortunately, I'm just gonna say this, right now. One of for a few of the like scratches, thank you, baby. Where are you? Oh no, Aiden! No!
We interrupt your descriptions of Arata's boo-boos, Trickster's boo-boos, to bring Aiden, the baby. Presumably trying to get himself in a whole lot of danger.
Give me like 1 second. I have to make sure this baby doesn't hurt himself.
Amazing, go for it. We interrupt these messages with a message from your local real kind Arakakra. Please remember to drink water, take your medicine, or Bon will come for you. And he pose outside of your window. Threateningly, menacingly. They want you to self-care. Also, me knowing full well the fact that this is set before Bloody Thorns and making the He Who reference, yes. You're welcome, everyone.
Hi, I'm back.
Hello.
I had blocked off the like little entryway into like my little space, but he still found a way through.
Amazing.
Because they're teaching this baby how to climb. Anyway, where was I?
You were describing Trickster's scars and how some of the like wounds, like normal ones, looked a certain way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Some of the standard like scratches, not just the bullet one. He is going to have to take off the vest for. But he had seemed more concerned about the bullet wound.
Yeah, rightfully so, I think.
Yeah. Like so long as he can use his arm, he's fine.
Not exactly the best mindset, but we'll forgive him as a treat.
Yeah.
Bon probably like bandages up like the bullet wound and stuff, and like, you know, make sure it's all like it's got all of the bits and bobs to keep it clean, keep it from being exposed, you know, that sort of jazz.
Yeah.
And then kind of gives Trickster a once over and sighs a little, and they're like, okay, I understand if you're very body conscious and stuff, but I have band-aids and you have marks. If you would take off your vest, I can clean you up the rest of the way if you want.
Oh, alright. I mean, I'm not body sensitive, but like, give me just like 1 sec. And he starts to move to like take off the vest. It's a bit of a process because it is a kind of a tight fit. Give me 1 second so I can pull up the reference.
Bon will stand back and let him do it. If he were to need help, they would offer it, but also they understand the whole, yeah, I'd rather undress myself on my own time sort of thing. And also, if Trickster's going to leave their place, Trickster's going to also need to go back to wherever Trickster lives and change at some point out of, you know, wanted criminal costume and will probably have to do that by himself. So him getting an idea of how he can move right now is good.
Yeah. There is a bit of like a wince or two as he tries to move his arm. But he manages to finagle his way through, and he takes off his vest. Right away, you notice that there is a massive scar, across, Trickster's abdomen. Do you want to roll medicine or arcana?
Medicine or arcana. Alright, let's see. Yeah, I'll roll medicine. Hopefully it'll be nicer this time because Bon's a doctor. 13. Right. Goodness.
Alright. It's above average, and this is an FPS. We do what we want. Bon, you have experiences with several types of wounds. So I would argue that you are definitely able to tell that this was done by a spell or something magical because of the coloration and yeah. But with a 13, you cannot tell what specific spell this is, and just looking at it gives you a very bad vibe. And not just in the sense of like, oh, that's a nasty scar. It's in the sense of, oh, something bad happened here.
So, this is not a place of honor. Bond's taken a real fucking gander at, like, respectfully, in the medical doctor sort of way of just like, okay, is this anything I know about? Is this anything I should talk to Trickster about that I would have extra knowledge of that Trickster might not? But, you know, despite Bon having been doing research on, like, spell scars and, like, spells that want to unalive people very, very interestingly ways, Bon, it's been a little bit. Bon's been busy, doing other things. Yeah. So it's like, Bon doesn't remember all of them, but Bon has, like you said, that idea. And they're a little concerned for this, he-who funky real kind kiddo, that they've kind of taken under their wing, ha ha ha. But, you know, it's definitely not sort of like a first time you come see me sort of conversation. They might prod at it a little, but Bon will remember this. Yeah. And they're probably gonna start, like, cleaning Trickster up and, like, pulls out a box of bandages, and they're like, okay, do you want the engineer one, or do you want the DJ Moves one?
God damn, I have to choose?
I mean, you have more than one, sort of. So you can have both, but you have to pick at least one to start with.
Alright, fine. Engineer.
Amazing.
That's a voice actor joke.
Bon nods sagely and, like, you know, does the whole pat it down with rubbing alcohol, give it a little pat with, like, a wrung out cloth, cover it with some like AAA, and then bandage it, you know, and kind of flick them all over and make sure none of them need like stitches or butterfly bandages or, you know, this and that.
Yeah.
Just kind of like, you know, very chill about it.
Yeah. Does their gaze still like flick back to the scar every so often, or like?
Oh yeah, they're absolutely kind of just like looking over the scars occasionally. Just also, you know, and again, the kind of like medical way with like a tinge of curiosity sort of thing.
I think Trickster does notice you looking at some of the scars, but he knows the big one is absolutely noticeable. So he kind of like just there's a sort of smile that crosses his expression that is not the usual not his usual like mischievous kind of look where he's just like joking around. He's kind of just, I mean, if you want to ask, you can.
I mean, it's certainly not necessarily any of my business. I do just apparently run the habit of running into some real wrong side of the law kinds of young adults who have very big scars on their chest.
Oh, so this is just business as usual for you.
I mean, that kind of depends, you know. If you want, I have been like, I'm sure you know where you got this from, you know, and I'm sure you've been figuring out how to live with it, especially if you're trying to keep it a secret. I'm sure there's people who have all sorts of creams or spells or whatever if you want to cover it up beyond a t-shirt. I mean, I'm happy to give any sort of medical advice if you're looking for that angle too.
He kind of goes quiet, and his expression is a little bit thoughtful, and he goes, I mean, I've got it for like what, 2 years now, something like that. He takes a deep breath and he goes, this thing, and he kind of like gestures vaguely at it. This thing almost killed me, and I still don't know what spell it was.
No, yeah, I feel like that's something that could cause potential issues later.
I mean, it doesn't hurt or anything. Not now. Hurt like hell when I first got it, obviously. But I mean, it got patched up. A couple of friends of mine helped, like, got their healing magic in, you know. It's I just he kind of like pauses, like he's trying to figure out how to put his thoughts into words. Yeah. And he's just sometimes sometimes in the moment people just don't think before they act. And I mean, I never seen anything like it, and I'd seen a lot of crazy shit in my time.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird, I guess is what I'm trying to get at, because I've never seen a spell like it, and none of the people I know have seen a spell like it. None of the medical professionals I've been to have seen a spell like it, so it's just... yeah.
Mm-hmm. I get that. I've dealt with that sort of thing before, like I said. If you really want, if you don't mind putting a little trust in this bird, if you want, you can write down everything you remember, the circumstances, as best you feel comfortable disclosing, just whatever you can give me, and I'll do research on my own time and see about getting back to you on it. How about that?
I'd appreciate that, actually.
Yeah, it's no problem.
Putting a trust in a bird. I'm already doing that,
I work very hard to ensure that my patients feel they can trust me. So the fact that you decided to come to me, I appreciate very much.
Well, I mean, Gil seems to trust you, so it's gotta be worth something.
Gil is... Gil is always just... Having Gil's trust is very important to me. And so the fact that you can take Gil trusting me as a sign to trust me is also very touching.
I'll take that as a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Just, maybe next time you decide to come around, I do have a door.
Come on, what if somebody recognizes this mask?
I don't know if you know, like, a bunch of other criminals besides Gil, but I have, another wanted criminal as, one of my apartment neighbors, so it's I don't know everybody in this building, but I'm pretty sure they would look the other way. Besides, do you know how many...
No, continue.
Do you know how many bootleg weirdos we have running around here? Trust me, they would just think you're some sort of dedicated look-alike.
Alright, I'll consider it. But I still think the window's the best way of entrance.
Of course. Unfortunately, I can't fit through the window, so I couldn't be able to tell you. I'll make sure to leave one of them open so you can jimmy it. How about that? I'm sure Gil would also appreciate this.
I'll consider that a deal.
Amazing. Do you want a pinky promise on it?
We're both real kinds.
Yeah, but we already hang around so many tunes. You might as well indulge in it, right?
I guess so. We've had quite a bit of an experience with pinky promises in the past, but it's something. Thank you, baby.
The baby's cheering on Trickster. Bon offers essentially their pinky talon to Trickster. They look a little like joking and fond.
and I think Trickster hooks his pinky with Bon's.
Give a little shake, you know, and then let go. Bon probably like pulls out like a really cutesy like heart-shaped sticker from like their medical bag. Probably meant to be like not in a medical bag. Like this is just like a sticker. And they like peel the back off and they like stick it on Trickster's cheek and they're like, there you go.
Oh great, now I can't take this off.
Well, hopefully you don't see me in the next 24 hours while you're not wearing the mask, because otherwise that'll make it really awkward for this whole secret identity thing you have going on.
Oh. Yeah, I guess. You know what? Fair enough.
Don't.
He's just kind of like grinning. Heedlessly.
Bon is also like, they've definitely got a smile. As much as a bird can smile.
Oh, that's great.
Bon, go ahead.
Continue.
I was just gonna say Bon probably like gives Trickster one last look over to make sure that they didn't like miss anything, even if it's something small. Before kind of just like standing up because they had crouched down. Because otherwise they would have towered over Trickster sitting down, I'm gonna be honest.
I believe it.
They kind of do like a stretchy stretch.
Alright, what's the diagnosis, Doc?
Inform your next of kin. I'll make sure to do the rites. No, you'll be fine.
Well, not the way I expected to go.
You hate to see it. ASDs watch over you. Aw. No, you'll be fine. Just don't go slipping off the roof and cracking your head open.
Please, I'm a professional.
You're a professional every day except for the day you finally slip on that banana peel.
That's right, this is Toontown, I guess. Guess I'll have to be extra careful.
Yep.
And I think he like goes through the motions of like putting his vest back on.
Is the vest and the coat, like, are they clean?
How do you mean, like just like no blood or anything?
Yeah.
Oh shit, that is a good question, because he was wearing it with he starts to pick up the vest, and then he does notice that there is a little bit of blood on it, and he's just like, fuck. And he kind of like looks it over, and he's just, well, I'm gonna have to clean that later.
I mean, I've got a sink and some soap.
You don't mind me sticking around a bit longer?
Look, I don't exactly have a wild social life. If you stick around and, like, I don't know, read a book or find some way to entertain yourself, you know, I don't really care. Hell, I've got some medical books. Maybe you could brush up on something so you have a little bit easier time next time not getting mess everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
Bon probably has dishes in the sink, so they probably just like go and start moving them out of the way and like cleaning out the sink because, you know, they totally understand the feel of like you have to clean the thing and you can't exactly just throw this one or two things into the washer because that's a waste, and also it's less, you know, so then it's like, yep.
Yeah.
Just puttering around a bit.
Yeah. And I think like once the way is clear, he does come over and like start to wash it out.
Mm-hmm.
Wash out the blood from his vest. It's, again, it looks like business as usual for someone like him.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's done this before, and he does seem to know what he's doing to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
Which, considering how young he is, may or may not be concerning. So take that how you will.
It's the whole thing of like, if this was a toon, Bon would be a little less concerned, but this is a real kind. They understand, you know, real kind aged linearly and like normally versus how toons can just, you know, look this age but been around for a while. So they're a little concerned, but also it's one of those things where it's like, Bon, if Trickster ever wants to open up to Bon, Bon will be there. Bon isn't going to necessarily push because it seems like Trickster's aware and like practice and, you know, that sort of thing. Trickster can also like actually take a look around Bon's apartment now because, you know, he's just chilling now. He just lives there now for now.
I am in your house. What crimes will I commit? Alright, should I just like roll perception, I guess?
Yeah, just like a general perception, just kind of taking a looky-loo.
Yeah, you can do that. My head's in my hands.
I love that. That either means a great roll or a terrible roll.
That one.
Amazing. You sure are in an apartment. It seems just like a normal apartment. There's things here. You know, you probably had to like take off your gloves to do the scrubby scrub of your vest, and there's like soap suds, and Bon handed him the hydrogen peroxide to help clean the blood out, you know, nice and calm, and everything's chill, you know, and they've probably started cooking again, so they're kind of just standing side by side, you know, very chill, very domestic almost.
I will say this probably checks out because he did get shot at. It is very much the evening. He's had an exciting night.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part. He's just sitting here. Well, sitting, you know, standing, cleaning.
Just vibing.
Sure is fine. shoot, what was I gonna say? The how's out of curiosity, how's the roof of the apartment? Bon is tall. Is he able to like stand up straight in this apartment, or?
Yeah, they can stand up straight. It's it's got a pretty decently high ceiling. Trickster probably notices, like, if anything, Bon will occasionally, like, start to stretch out their wings a little and then kind of, like, pause, especially, like, if there's the sound of it lightly bumping something, like, because they have big wings.
They are pretty big.
Yep, you gotta be big. So it's like Bon can live decently and like comfortably, but it's also not super like, you know, where it's like one of those apartments where it's like, yeah, it's okay, but it's not like, you know, just it's kind of a meh apartment.
Yeah. You're just I'm trying to debate whether or not he should do a "damn you live like this" kind of joke.
Oh my god, I'm laughing. Every fucking time Bon has someone over at their apartment, they always judge Bon's apartment so harshly.
I mean, this kid really can't judge. He used to live in the attic of a cafe.
Amazing. God.
I think since we're coming up on an hour, I think a way to close this off is that by the time the vest is clean and dried off and he puts it on, puts the jacket on after making sure that's also clean, he starts to go to the window again, but just for comedic relief, how about just as he's about to reach for the window, police siren in the distance.
Yes.
And he just goes, on second thought, do you mind if I just hunker down here for a little bit longer?
Bon just kind of like sighs, but it's definitely humored as they're like, how do you feel about stir fry?
I could go for stir fry.
Amazing.
I'll make it up to you somehow.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. I'll get another plate, and they probably just have like a nice like a nice dinner, just chilling. Bon probably sends Trickster home with like a small baggie of like pain medicine and like some extra bandages and stuff, just like in a grocery bag, just like, you know, a standard take care of your gunshot wound sort of starter kit. Just, yep, take care.
Love that. Love that. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's it, everybody.
Yep, that's it. The camera kind of just like, it's one of those things where it's just like you get the cut of them just like eating and chilling, and like faintly in the distance you can see out the window and hear the police sirens, and then it just, yep, goes to credits.
Thank you, everybody, for listening in. Despite all the technical difficulties we had, and
It's okay.
the interruption.
It was a delight. And yes, thank you everyone for listening and coming and experiencing these two have have a pretty okay time, I feel.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll see y'all around, I guess, and bye bye.